So this is an interesting one. I'm a MacBook user. I also have a Windows-based PC that I use through work. The main thing is the price differential in the market. MacBooks are typically very expensive relative to a much broader range of available Windows or other operating system-based PCs. I think there's a place to start. Tell us about what we know from the reporting about a new, cheaper MacBook.
That's right, and thanks for having me. Yeah, it's really interesting. This would be a pretty big departure from what we've seen from Apple before of the more premium standpoint with computers, but this would bring it down to a lower end, probably in the $600 to $800 range. It would be more targeted towards students, small businesses. It wouldn't be able to do everything, but you'd be able to surf the web, some documents, some light editing, and it would really open up the market for a lot of people who might have an iPhone but aren't ready to make that jump. For some MacBooks start, at $999. To your point, these are pretty expensive computers.
Do we know anything about the timeline for this, Samantha? Like, is Apple going to surprise us with this year, or when do we expect to hear about it?
We're expecting it soon, but it's not imminent. So it's in development. It's already in production. So we're thinking the first half of next year, probably in the spring, maybe somewhere between maybe March and June.
What has Apple done to, like sometimes I reflect about how Apple does something in the iPhone, or it might do it in the wearables category, or even the iPad. And then it will say, how do we apply that to a different category like MacBook? Is there any reporting on like how there's a technology transfer that they have got the cost down, or are they going to the playbook that they've done, like a base version iPhone took a long time to get after having many premium models?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. So my colleague Mark Gurman is reporting that some of the components would obviously be a lot cheaper, making the price go down, but they might use an iPhone chip, which is very advanced at this point, and it exceeds some that we're seeing in the earlier M chips that are in some of the MacBooks. So they would be able to take an iPhone chip, put it into a device, and really open it up there. Also, in other ways, people might not need, certain features, but they are still looking for battery life. In some cases, they're using an iPad with an external keyboard, but that really increases the price too. This would be able to take everything, boil it down, and give people perhaps an entry point into the ecosystem that they haven't been able to enter before.
I should say that an Apple spokesperson declined to comment on our reporting. Now that's out the way, we should probably acknowledge the other side of the competition, which is the Chromebook and other laptop PCs. They are providing more competition to Apple.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's been a lot of success around Chromebooks with Google. I mean, a lot of schools have students using these devices. Of course, you have Dell and HP as major players as well. A lot of people who can't afford a premium device will go to these very strong products. So it definitely will, have a new player involved, and it'll really increase competition. We saw some dips yesterday as far as stock with those related companies as well.